First of all, I'm as gay as a $3 bill. Second of all, I've had some of the kinkiest sex you've ever seen. Third of all, when I was young, damn right I tried drugs. What the hell do you think is, we're gonna sit back and lie about all this bull? I'm broke as I know nothing about politics, but I can goddamn guarantee you, I listen to the people's voices, not the rich people, not the corporate America. I listen to the people that are paying the salaries of all you bastards. But you know, the coolest thing about running a campaign is you put it all out there on the table. They either like you or they don't like you. And they ain't got nothing to talk about. Trust me on that one right there.
Joe Exotic is throwing his name in the presidential candidate realm, I guess under the Republican side, but he sounds a lot like Colonel Sanders from KFC. If you close your eyes and listen to that again, you'll understand. I'm Colonel Sanders from KFC. You buy my 2 pieces and a biscuit for $4.99, you run out the door happy. He sounds just like him. I didn't realize that till just now. Still, he has actual policy behind the fact that he's as gay as a $3 bill. Why does $3 bill have to be gay? But it's gay as a $3 bill and he's had kinky sex. Sounds like a start point for his platform, but there's more. Here's some serious points.
But if you're tired of unjust laws being forced upon you and the Social Security of the elderly that have worked their entire lives to deserve that being cut by our government and free welfare being handed out instead of deserved, health care here in America for only the rich and made for the pharmaceutical companies, and many other issues that face us here in America, we're being terrorized by our own government, by our laws being forced upon us every day that we wake up. Thousands of laws are introduced every day that the politicians don't even read because they're paid by lobbyists to force these laws upon you. If you want to stand up and make a change in America, you now have your voice. Joe Exotic for the people of America.
I feel like that was recycled from back the last time he kind of ran for president. There's some policy positions there, Miranda. He's talking about how, healthcare should be something that's happening for folks, freedom to be who they want. He has all kinds of things written on his website. But I did notice one thing that stuck out there as he's talking about the way that maybe social safety net issues like, welfare coverage for folks, but that can't be on the list. It's still something that's paid by taxpayers, being, people who pay taxes, American citizens, folks like that. So when they find themselves on those types of hard times, that's not the case. The brainwashing still holds on to those moments. There's more things happening with him, but first, your initial thoughts about this guy and his chances.
Well, first of all, it seems like he almost gets it. He's talking about how they're taking away Social Security from people who've earned it, and then in the same breath is against handouts from the government. But I know that he thinks they're the same thing, but then he forgets that he thinks they're the same thing. And I think that a lot of him is very confused all the time. So it's almost like he almost gets it, and then he just gets derailed by himself quite a bit. Also, I've never seen a shirt that pink in my life. It is the pinkest pink I've ever seen. And I also really want to know what gay as a $3 bill means. Is it that he's not gay because the $3 bill doesn't exist, or that everyone just knows the $3 bill isn't gay or is gay? I'm not really sure where he's at on that. But it's definitely a fun advertisement. But yeah, I think he's just he's almost there, and I'm almost rooting for him. I'm like, yeah, you're for the people, and then he gets derailed.
Who's on the $3 bill? Maybe that's the reason why. We can only speculate. I'm looking forward to y'all's thoughts on it. Here's a couple more points though that he is pushing, that they actually did detail on his website though. He says, why is it so hard to get justice in this country, even when there's evidence proving innocence? It's outrageous the number of lawsuits that are filed and won against law enforcement and police. I guess two separate issues. There's the justice part, then there's law enforcement. This is your taxpayer money being paid because of corruption within the criminal justice system. It's inhumane to keep a person locked in a small room in isolation for months at a time with no human contact and nothing to do. No zoo, he would know about this. No zoo would be allowed to do that to an animal. So why do we allow them to do this to us? Remember, Joe Exotic got pretty famous during the pandemic for that zoo that abused animals and treated them badly. I'm not sure of how many he locked into a room, but that was definitely one of the problems. And also, The fact that he is now locked into one of those small rooms could be the reasons why. He's serving a 21-year prison sentence following this conviction in 2019 on multiple charges. Some of those were hiring a hitman to murder wildlife activist and his arch nemesis, Carol Baskin. He was also convicted of killing tigers and selling them across state lines, kind of like those imprisoned tigers. I mean, there's all kinds of hypocrisy as it goes all around. There's other images and stuff from his website here. He shows some of the injuries he's suffered while he's been incarcerated, which may be partially why he's talking about those types of things. It always comes to what it is that you're experiencing, which fine, I understand that, but does it go across the board? One more thing on taxes though, because this is, since we were talking about the social safety net and people paying into the system, this is one point he had on his site though. He's a libertarian though, by the way. He believes that the IRS should be shut down because once you start to buy something, it should become yours until you sell it and someone else pays tax on it. You should not, by the way, who do they pay the tax to? Who knows? Who cares how this works? You should not have to pay our government to work either. The American people work day in and day out, and our politicians spend it frivolously, like our lives and hard work means nothing. So cut the funding, and it would cut the spending. Again, Miranda, like you said, he's almost there. So maybe the way the taxes then get paid in, we should cut the way the politicians are paid to misuse our funds for their own benefit and for the people who paid them to use those funds for the benefit of them and the folks who paid them to be there. Just look closer, we still have it. Let's just find the problem rather than the original source here. Just saying, maybe I should run his campaign.
I think you should definitely send him some pointers. I think his plan is to maybe figure out the details as he goes. He has a rough idea of what he wants to do. He doesn't have it all fleshed out yet, but he's gonna figure it out. He's like, no taxes, only when you buy something. Where do those taxes go? That's not important. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, it's definitely, he's so close. And like I said, I'm rooting for him. But then he just steers off course and says something completely contradictory to the sentence that he said previous.
Well, good thing he has no chance. It's just fun at this point.